I just got laid off from Amazon.
Your role has been eliminated.
If you just got laid off, here's the first thing I would do.
Amazon laid off 30,000 people today. The narrative is that this is about AI replacing jobs. The reality is very different, and I want to be really precise about it because it gets at corporate structure and finance and not really at AI in the way you think. So when people think AI layoffs, they think the robots are doing the jobs now, and therefore we are having layoffs. No. The people who are doing the jobs are more stressed if they're still at Amazon, but the AI automation story isn't actually hitting those jobs. What is hitting those jobs and is related to AI is the cost of chips.
Yep, we know that the chips and graphics cards and all that cost a whole lot of money.
So NVIDIA sells chips to everyone, GPUs. Those chips are how we power AI.
Interesting take.
And none of the major cloud providers can get enough chips right now. Microsoft can't, Google can't. Google's in an easier spot. They have TPUs. And Amazon definitely can't. In fact, people don't know this, but AWS has a roughly 25% burning backlog on GPUs. In other words, they are missing out on revenue because companies are begging for more compute from AWS that they can't fulfill because they can't buy GPUs because they only had so much budgeted to buy GPUs.
I don't really agree with this take in full. That might be a part of it, but dude, people don't have money to buy stuff. So if they're not buying stuff, the companies are laying people off, obviously, right? I don't know. Tell me if you agree with this guy in the comments.
Your role has been eliminated. So honestly, what am I feeling right now? I'm kind of numb. I'm kind of in shock of just how it was handled because I literally had no idea. Like literally imagine just waking up one day, it's a regular Tuesday, you check your phone, see what time it is, and you see you got an email that your role is being eliminated. Genuinely, when I saw that on my phone, I thought it was spam because I'm like, no way. Like, what do you mean that it's an email? So I go on my work laptop. I find out I'm locked out of my laptop. And I check my email. I lost access to my laptop. I don't have badge access. I literally haven't heard anything from my manager, hear nothing from my coworkers. And it's just like you're just locked out. And it's so crazy because so I was there for only like a little over a year, but I have a coworker who was there. It was going to be his 13th anniversary being there for 13 years, and this is the way that we find out. And it's just kind of like you like oh, like it's just so crazy to me because like you spend so much of your energy at your job, right? And for you to just find out in this way, it's like a very shitty feeling. I'm gonna be so honest.
This is 100% something I can agree with. They're spending their time and their commitment and energy to have this position and do their work, and then they it's like finding out somebody doesn't care about you whatsoever. It's a surprise. It's a gotcha moment. And a lot of people are seeing this. It's kind of crazy too to me with Amazon specifically because this is a huge company. Okay, they make so much money, and if Amazon, a company of that level and size, is going to be affected by like an economic downturn or people with their credit card debt or they can't afford their health insurance, it's obviously like, it's bigger than it seems. Let's keep watching these clips.
I just got laid off from Amazon, and everyone who got laid off in my warehouse is Black. I worked there for almost 2 years, night shifts, weekends, missed birthdays, all because they said, "We noticed the ones who go the extra mile." Then one morning, everything felt off. The supervisors were whispering, team leads were on their phones, and next thing I know, I'm pulled into a quick meeting. They said it was restructuring, no warning, no explanation, just like that. And just when I thought it couldn't get weirder, someone in the break room showed me an email I was never supposed to see, and that's when it all made sense.
Yeah, The whole thing about like giving 2 week notice when you quit, the employer will never do that for you. They're never going to give you a 2 week notice. It's going to be a surprise, just like this. Something that I just thought of is like they made these layoffs right before like Black Friday and Christmas and all of that. That's kind of concerning. They're laying off all these people before the peak season of their sales. What are they expecting here? Can't be good.
Thousands of people are getting laid off from Amazon. That should really hit home for all of us that your job is simply not secure. We are all one step away from going in, being laid off, plants shutting down. Do you have a backup plan? If you do not have a backup plan, let me assure you that now is the time to get one created.
Truth is, most people can't even build up a backup plan because there's no money to be saved. Everything's so expensive, they can't save up the money for a backup plan. They say you should have like 3 to 6 months of money saved up in your bank in case something like this happens, a layoff. But most of these Amazon workers aren't making like 100, 200K a year. They're making 40, 50K a year. What money are they going to save up? I mean, the advice is cool and all, but in reality, we're looking at some tough times ahead.
If you just got laid off, here's the first thing I would do before I touch anything job search related or logistical related for leaving the company. And this is coming from the fact that I've been coaching people for the last few years who have gotten laid off through how to improve their interview skills. And also I myself got laid off in 2020 when my company went through a big merger and I lost my job. And even though I was not planning to stick around and I was looking to make a change, it was still really devastating. So if that happened to you, I'm so sorry. And the first thing that I would recommend that you do from a tactical strategic perspective is going to sound counterintuitive, but I need you to take a little bit of time to process what just happened. And that is not only because you're a human being and you deserve to have your emotions, but it's also because your brain right now is being flooded with stress, with uncertainty. And the last thing that you want to do when you just got announced this huge life change that is going to bring in financial and like identity uncertainty is to rush into decision making, is to rush into job searching when you're not thinking clearly. You need to, if you have a couple of weeks, I would recommend take a half day off. Go for a few hour walk around the park if you can. Step away.
Yeah, take a quick break. Sure, half a day is nothing.
Feel the emotions, because
it's not bad.
Whether you do it now or you try to tamp them down and think you'll just muscle through it and just get things done, it will impact your thinking. It'll impact how intentional you're being. The last thing that you want to be doing right now is being reactive, is responding or trying to operate from a state where your brain is probably more stressed than it's ever been. Yeah. So it's not self-indulgent to give yourself a little bit of a buffer between, oh my gosh, I got this massive news. It's really, really scary. Give yourself a little bit of time. Go cry in the bathroom for 15 minutes if that's all you have. Take a few hours if you can. Take a half day, whatever your situation allows. Give yourself that time. You will be grateful, because either way, those emotions are going to come through, and it's better to give yourself a little bit of time to process them now before they start impacting your thinking. And if you just got laid off and you found this helpful, be sure you're following.
Yeah. Okay. So good advice. Take a little break. Cool. I mean, see, this is the thing. Everyone's going to give you advice on what to do in these emergency situations. Her advice is, it's good for your emotions, but emotions don't pay the bills, do they? Well, maybe you should take a look at that and start applying for jobs after you take that quick little half-day break, because you're probably going to be putting in a whole lot of applications, especially if you're considering the hundreds of thousands of people being laid off and how new jobs aren't being formed, right? If you got any better solutions, throw in the comments, like, comment, subscribe.